that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another thorough unboxing, and today I'm very excited to be thoroughly unboxing Uprising, the Arch-Nemesis expansion. So, this is the expansion to the absolutely delightful Uprising, which is a really big box game. This one comes in a much smaller box right here, but this will not fit in the base game. That's the first thing I want to mention, that there's no way, shape, or form you're going to fit this in the base game unless you just put everything in a baggies and get rid of all the plastic inside of there. But I don't think most people are going to do that. So first and foremost, we have the handy-dandy rule booklet right here. It is 53 pages. And before you say, what, 53 pages for the rule booklet expansion? Are you kidding me? Well, that's because most of it is actually like lore and backstory and artwork and just trying to deeply immerse you into the world that they have weaved here. And in fact, even if you go to the first few pages, introduction. So it's only about 5 or 6 pages. It's really not that difficult of an expansion to integrate into the game. And I think most games, you're at the very least going to use the new factions because they have some really cool stuff. But let's talk about that right now. So the first, because the main thing in this game, I do believe, are these 4 faction boards here. And they each are asymmetrical like all the different ones. So first we have the Tuatan. These shy ocean dwellers have been driven out of their beautiful reef dwellings by a sudden freezing of the seas, and they have to leave much beauty behind them. Even though they abhor violence, the islands of Azul have taught them to fight off any intruders. The Tuatan and their armored mounts are extremely bulky and have little desire to march about dry land. Every command costs them 2 food instead of 1 food. So food is going to be a much more difficult resource to get for them, and they have all the basic stuff that you would expect them to have. You're going to have your double-sided card right here, which will have the 2 different characters you can pick, which are going to be their own asymmetric characters with their own different little decks here, which will give them their own cool little quirks. Also, we got, of course, all the acrylics, and you can see some of those. Yeah, they're nice and they're pretty, but you're not here to see those. You're here to know what this expansion's about. Now, basic warriors, basic riders, elite warriors, and elite archers. And they are very difficult to kill, apparently, especially the big beefers. Next, we have the Renegade Legion. Led by a Drakh and her organ and force of the Z Legion, somehow broke their oath to the Emperor, a feat thought impossible. They are master engineers. When they place a haven, it gains a wall and a tower immediately. Booyah! But they cannot rebuild these in the build phase. Renegade Legion havens cost 3 to do the haven action, as opposed to the normal 2 for everyone else. And the Z have little support along the locals of Azul, and so must apply imperial methods of taxation to ensure their supplies. On production, they generate twice the hex bonus shown where they have a haven. They have no other resource production, so thematically, they're like, give us all this stuff! And they are led by Mukla, the mutant. Look at that, 3 guiles. Lots of versatility there. And then Talak, the Oathbreaker, going hard on magic. And here they are right there. They look oh so stinking cool. Yeah, you know, the acrylics are so nice. They have their own special decks, which, you know, we're not going to go into all the cards in the game because there's really a good chunk of cards here. Once you start looking at how many, you know, that's half of them right there. That's a lot of gameplay right there. That's half the cards just for those special abilities. They have their own little home planet, 111, to the Truthful Gate. And let's take a look at their units. They got a dinosaur! So 4 Legionnaires, 4 Marksmen, 4 Lizard Riders, 1 Orgons, and 1 War Lizard. The Renegade Legion has no resource production, instead gain twice the bonus resources of each hex with your havens, and they get 4 of these right here. Bada boom, bada boom. So yeah, that is them. Very intrigued to try them out. But next, we have my favorite color in the game. Oh, bright orange, and that is the Hawkcam. Once the splendid rulers of Azul themselves, factionalism and their long crusade against the Kroth have left them scattered and few. They make their palaces in the increasingly decrepit ruins of the ancients, claiming their glory for themselves, which the Crow detests them for. The Haken have only elite units. Yeah, they got a whole unique way to score. They only have 3 havens, and these may not be placed adjacent to each other, for each prince among them claims sole rulership of their people. So they have only elite warriors, and you're like, wow, that's really intriguing. Yeah, But if anything would make you gain any basic units, you get a victory point instead. And that adds a whole different way to score points and some really interesting wiggle room. But of course, they have their own unique special asymmetric cards. Oh, so yummy. Which, you know, the little ones. They have, artwork. So he's 2 Guile, 1 Lead, 1 Magic. A little bit of everything. 2 Might, 2 Guile right there. Let's take a look at some of the acrylics. You got nice looking ones. I mean, you know they're nice. Whatever. Get out of here, acrylics. We know how nice you are. Only 3 havens. There's Starter Tile, Sujutu Hujur, and Skook. And then, of course, we have the Iron Hooves, the Stalkers, and the Zealots. Only 3 units. But, man, I got to tell you, these Iron Hooves look really cool. It's going to be cool watching them march around the board. All right, which leads us to our last faction, but not all the stuff in the game, as you can see, because there's still more stuff to talk about. But our last faction is the Yatoma. The last herd has traveled for leagues and leagues across the ice wastes to make a new home on the still living pastures. The Yatoma are the only faction that can exceed the 5-unit limit on a hex. Big. Instead, they are only limited by their herd size. Now, Yatoma may only roll 5 of their unit dice, even if they have more units in combat. The herd size of the Yatoma starts at 5 and is increased by 1 every time they place a haven, to a maximum of up to 11. And you keep track of this with a little clip. But the good part is losing a haven does not lower the herd size. To keep track of the herd size, the Yatoma start the game with their herd card next to the player board. You have a threat tracker to keep track every time you place a haven. It is common for the Yatoma to form quite a large force on 1 hex. Since not all units will fit on that hex, you can use the herd standee as a placeholder and place all units on the herd card. The herd standee is not a unit, just a placeholder. You may replace it at any time with your units or vice versa. So yeah, there in fact is the herd. It gets its own little acrylic. That's so nice. Yatoma may not gain walls or towers, however. So, ooh, that stinks, but you got the herd. They are pastoralists who roam the plains and not builders of cold stone cities. So another unique card, very easily distinguishable on the back right there. We got our 2 asymmetric decks right here, which, boom, biggity bam. Or maybe they're the same. Are they the same? I've never actually checked. I always just assumed they were different. Well, I'm sure they'll let me know in the comments. What do we got? Fajalka the Shepherd and Major the Bulwark. Wow, 4 Might. Rolling some... Oh my gosh, they are just smashers. 3 Lead, 1 Magic. Okay. Take a look at their acrylics. All right, looks good. Looks solid. You know, they're pretty. All of them are pretty. Like, all the acrylics are pretty. Just get out of here. No wall. Man, it just feels so naked without it right there. But those are all the different factions you're going to get on the board. So 4 completely new factions you can play with in the game. But that's not all, because we also have all of these delightful cards right here, which are, ooh, they are really bad. So first, we have 2 additional unexplored sea tower tiles just to mix up the variability a little bit more, and these are not going to be friendly ones, as you can see by the skull. Gain 4 crystals, remove any garrisons here, place 1 horde and 1 skeleton here, and only here. Gain 4, remove any skeletons here, place 1 garrison, place 1 legion here, and place 1 activation token on the legion card. Oh, wowzers. So yeah, we have some very, very mean unexplored sea tower spaces, but sea towers are super powerful. So next we got the Omens Phase stuff. So you're going to get a whole new phase if you're playing with this expansion and you want to mix in these big beefers, which we're about to talk about. And what's cool is this actually goes underneath the spot on the board. So you can just kind of slide that in there, and so you'll remember the phase when you get to it. Essentially, you're going to be drawing some really, really bad stuff. The Empire of Chaos, gain 5 points. Choose the hex with the most non-imperial units or threat. Roll 3 dice and apply bad stuff. Remove 1 hex with no curse except the capital from the game, then place 1 curse there. So yeah, you just have a lot of bad stuff happening, because what this game mode is trying to do is make it so when you get to that 4th chapter, it's a very climactic, huge ending where the stakes have been increased even more by one of either the 2 Imperial Arch-Nemesis. So we have the Empress right here, bride of Azur, the immortal keeper of ancient and terrible arcane secrets, escaped from the very heart of the mainland, and she's her own separate. Like, look at the amount of dice she's rolling. It's like, just, oh my gosh. But if you can destroy her, you gain 9 points that you can give to any player, which can completely, change the game. It can win you the game. Now, the thing to know about these 4 cards over here, these arch rivals, is that they're not necessarily per se working with the other team. They are not on the side of the Empire necessarily, their own separate entity that just happens to be related to the Empire, if that makes sense. But next we have the Dracolic, the most potent weapon of the old Empire, long imprisoned beneath a mountain as a desperate means of containment. So to put that thematically, yes, this is their dragon, but their dragon is really upset and he's going around killing everything right now. So they're like, all right, we don't want to kill him because, we're still friends with him, but that's bad news. But he's not on their side. So yeah, there's the dragon right there, and just, oh my gosh, just death reigning. Look at that. Look at how many dice in the archery phase. It's just terrible. But if destroyed, remove 1 activation token and place the Dracolet at threat 5 on the capital. If there are none, remove it and give 9 points to any player. So big chances to get chunks of points there. Now next, we also have the 2 Chaos Arch-Nemesis. So first, we have the Kraken, the Great Devourer, who is now awakened from deep beneath Azul. The Kraken has no standee, but is represented by the curse on the map. So all the curse, because, there's probably going to be a lot of curse. Look at that. Oh my. It's just bad. Remove all the hexes with a curse in the game. Leave any curses in play. Activate all curses following the rules of the activating skeletons. For each activation token here, place 1 curse on an empty hex. So all those are going to be rolling 3 dice. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. Next we have the Harvester, collector of souls, whose flight through the smoky skies presages the transmutation of all life into the unnatural service of primordial chaos. That was a lot of theme right there. When any affected generated by a Chaos Arch-Nemesis or their omens destroys a unit, place it in the Chaos Graveyard. Oh my gosh, it's just 7. Skeletons do not become hordes or go to the graveyard. They gain 1 in archery. Oh my gosh. That's not good. Look at that, it's a cool standee. So, you're going to get those. Those are just probably going to be for like the most next level players. I think most people probably will not be mixing those in because, I don't know, I think they're just really, 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 really difficult. But if you really enjoy the game and you're planning on getting good at it, well, then you like having that added variability. Or if you like just a super difficult game, there you go. But last but not least, we have 4 new big beefers that are going to be marching around the map doing bad things. So first we got the Butcher looking like Shredder over here. Immediate Lizard Riders. Places target every player loses half of their red resources rounded down. And oh my gosh. He's rolling 2 blue dice in archery at 7. Just if destroyed, remove his target and gain 4 points. This is more like the final boss right before the final boss. Like when you find out, oh, that's not the final boss, there's a bigger final boss. He is, oh my goodness. And he has all the stuff you're going to need. Next, we have the Inquisitor. Immediate hunt for heretics. Place her target, place 1 druid under her card. If destroyed, remove her target and gain 0 crystals. Return the druid here to the map revealed. Oh, that's that's not fun. And for the archery phase, if you let her get to level 7, she's rolling 4 dice. 4 dice. Oh my goodness. You Imperial Legion, just get off our backs. We just want to live in the country free. And then, of course, the Damned. The Stormbringer, immediate Trembling Earth. Activate the Stormbringer. You do not need an activation token to activate. If destroyed, gain 3. So it's just a huge clump of just dead skeleton parts. And then the King of Plagues. Immediate Rot and Decay. Every player loses half of their food rounded down. If destroyed, gain 5. But yeah, there you go. That's what you're getting inside of Uprising, the Arch-Nemesis expansion. Please let me know in the comments below if you like this format of videos, because I'm thinking about doing it for more expansions, because I know there's just not a lot of content out on some of the expansions, and I want you to be able to make an informed buying decision. Also, any thoughts, opinions, ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers this year to celebrate my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube content. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.